Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to Slayer Talk. My name is Mark. With me, as always, is my wife, Carol. How you doing today, Carol?
Hey, what's up?
How much? It's been a good week here. It is November 16th, 1999.
It is.
And we watched The Initiative.
Interesting episode.
It was an interesting episode.
A lot of revelations in this
A lot of lore built in this episode. Don't you know about Buffy's lore? You ever hear anybody talk about that?
No. Folklore. I mean, I don't know what the fuck you're...
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, but I don't know. I don't think people generally go around being like, hey, Buffy's lore.
Okay. You can think whatever you want, but I hear them on chat rooms, on AOL, on the internets.
Okay.
They're like, hey, I wrote a Buffy book.
I didn't realize that you could be geekier than me, but apparently you can. And that's called fan fiction, by the way.
Whatever. Of course I can be geekier than you.
So in this episode...
Yes.
A very special episode of Buffy.
On a very special episode of Roseanne. Jackie's boyfriend beats her.
That is a special episode.
And then Dan beats the shit out of him.
What the fuck? Okay. Anyway...
That's how that was marketed, that episode. It's a wish fulfillment for guys out there.
Okay. Are you ready?
Yes.
Because, I don't know.
You're the one that brought it up.
No, I didn't. The fuck are you talking about?
Listen, anytime you say special episode, I'm going to think of the Roseanne where Jackie's boyfriend beats him and Dan beats the shit out of him.
I will never use those words again. All right, now...
Yeah.
In this episode, we discover...
This very special episode.
That Riley...
Like the special episode of Mr. Belvedere where the little boy's friend has AIDS.
Get your head in the game, sir. Buffy.
Yes.
Vampire World.
Of course.
Riley
Cooper.
The TA...
Yeah.
is crushing on Buffy.
He is.
And it's interesting.
He's talking to his two buddies that he's got. He needs two generic buddies. One has to be black to fill quota.
Right.
And he's like, she's weird, isn't she? Isn't she weird? Yeah, she's weird. And they're like, well, I think she's hot or whatever. And like, oh, she's probably whatever. They start talking about her sexually.
Yeah, and one of them's like, "Hey, can I go ask her out?" Like, and then all of a sudden he's like, "Wait a minute, I have feelings about that."
It's like, yeah, we know.
I like her.
They were fucking with him the whole time.
Yeah,
it's kind of a nice like bro moment, a bromant, where they're like teasing him because they know.
Yeah,
so they're talking about emotions.
Guys don't talk about emotions.
Not often. No, that is the stereotype.
So
guys, by and large, don't have emotions. We've suppressed them.
That's not true.
That's why we die earlier.
Not true at all.
Okay.
So, I'm having some trouble.
Are you?
With the details.
How does that feel?
Of the episode. Not good. Okay, so Spike is here. Spike's in this episode.
Okay, so we get a all right, let me help you out.
Me.
We get a previously on Buffy the Vampire Slayer. That's pretty good, Giles, huh?
Yeah.
He got captured by those military dudes that are just roaming around campus for some reason. And he gets put into like some kind of cell. There's like it's a bunch of cells all next to each other with I don't know, some kind of fucking like force field glass. Yeah. It's like Star Trek kind of shit.
It does. It reminds me of like not even the holodeck, the medical,
the brig.
Yeah. No, not the brig.
The medical.
The place where the medical people go. They have like observation rooms.
Oh, okay. In the infirmary or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
It reminds me of 10 Forward.
What's 10? That's the bar. It doesn't remind me of the bar. Does not remind me of that at all. Anyway, Continue.
Because it's on deck 10 in the forward section of the ship. That's why they call it 10 forward. Anyway, so it reminds me of Star Trek a little bit, but it reminds me of the Briggs in Star Trek too, because they have that too.
Mm-hmm. It's a glass menagerie of supernatural creatures.
Yeah, there's just a bunch of them. It's all like lined up and everything. There's like a wolfman and another vampire. There's a vampire next to Spike, and he's all like, "Hey, this is fucking what's going on here. I'm going to give you all the exposition you need." And like, as I throw him some blood, and he's like, "Don't fucking eat that."
Yeah, blood falls from the ceiling.
They're poisoning you, and then they do an autopsy on you or whatever. It's like, how does he know this?
Well, I mean, he's been there.
Yeah, but like, he saw the autopsies. Do they just do it right in front of him?
Maybe.
Here, look at this.
God, that would be like the worst torture.
Like,
we're coming for you.
Like, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It doesn't make sense that at first I thought he had to have been a plant or something like that. That he was like manipulating Spike in a way or whatever. But it turns out no.
No.
So I guess we can go through Spike's storyline real quick, or at least until he gets out. So he's in there and he doesn't know what to do. He's like, "Fuck it, the Slayer did this." How does he talk?
I don't know. He's got a British accent, but
All right, love. The Slayer did this. I'm gonna fuck her up.
it sounds Australian. He's trying to get out. He's like touching the glass and
it's not glass, but yeah,
whatever, the force field.
Touching the glass. He tries one time to bowl his way through it, and he gets electrocuted or whatever. So what the fuck happens?
I don't remember how he got out.
I remember how he got out. He pretends to have drank the blood, and he's like collapsed on the floor of his cage, and they bring him out to strap him to the table. And as they're doing it, I'm thinking, like, has no one ever tried this?
It does seem like it would be the smart thing to do.
Like, how do they not have him immediately? Like, even with prisoners, they have him put their hands through the bars and fucking handcuff them or whatever before they take them out of their cell.
Well, they wouldn't do that if the prisoner was collapsed and they were about to strap him to a gurney.
I feel like regular people in the regular world, like prison guards, would not fall for this.
Probably not.
But anyway, they do fall for it, and he attacks them because he's a fucking vampire. Mm-hmm. And then he lets out his buddy. Does he let them all out? I don't remember if he
I think he just lets his buddy out.
So he lets his buddy out, and he's like, "Oh yeah." He goes, "You're gonna need me. I'm the only one that knows the way out of here." And that's the whole time I'm thinking, like, this is a fucking trap. But it's not. He leads him towards the exit, and then some of those military guys catch up with him, and he's like, "I got an idea. You go that way and get captured. I'm going this way." And they take the other vampire, and Spike gets out. And Spike gets out and goes sees that hot chick from the other episode.
What hot chick?
The one he was with.
Oh, yeah.
The one he staked
Harmony.
The one he staked in the heart to prove that thing gave them an eternal life or whatever.
Yeah.
Or protection.
Harmony. She's mad at him for that.
Well, yeah.
Justifiably.
And for just completely leaving him.
Leaving her.
Leaving her, yeah. She's mad about that, too.
Oh. So, doesn't she kick him out?
They start to, like, she's like, "Oh, you're back, I forgive you," and, like, she's, like, mad at him, but she's, like, gonna forgive him or whatever. Mm-hmm. And he says or does something that pisses her off, and she's like, "I don't want to have anything to do with you anymore." So, yeah, she kicks him out.
Yeah.
And starts burning his shit.
So then he goes to Buffy's dorm.
Mm-hmm.
But Buffy is not there, because she's at some party.
Yeah. Well... yeah, sort of. She's also waiting for him because there's other stuff that happens.
Oh, well, go ahead. You keep going.
No, that's okay.
No, I don't want to jump ahead. Go keep going. What else happened?
Okay. She's all upset about... now, to get to Buffy's storyline, because this is where the twain shall meet. To get to Buffy's storyline, she's all upset about Parker still for some fucking unknown reason.
Get over it.
And... like you said, Riley starts, having a crush on her and everything, and all his buddies are teasing him about it. And he invites her to hey, she gets invited to this party, and he's like, oh, it's a party at my dorm or whatever. He goes to Willow, and is like, Riley goes to Willow and is like, hey, so I like her. I don't know what to do though. Can you help me? I don't even know how to talk to her.
Yeah, throughout this episode, Willow is not getting out of bed. She's super depressed. She's just in bed every time anybody talks to her
because of Oz. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and actually, she the professor, that professor woman says something about oh, Oz is, or he's not here anymore. His name's Ken. I think Ken Ostriker or something like that. They are Oswald is his last name. Okay. It's weird. I never thought about it, but it's really weird. But anyway, she's like, oh, well, he's not in the fucking class anymore, so he's going to fail. He should see me next semester. Shouldn't waste my time. She's all a jerk about the whole thing. And Willow gets all pissed off and everything. And then Buffy's for someone that teaches, of humanities or whatever, you should have some fucking humanity. And she storms off or whatever. And, she goes, being nice to people is not my job or whatever. And she's like, yeah, it's not your job. And she walks away. And then the professor turns to Riley and she's like, I like her. But anyway, so yeah, Willow's all upset and everything. So Riley comes to her to the dorm and is like, oh, what can I do? And she's like, I don't know. She likes cheese.
Yeah. Well, at first she doesn't want to help him. Mm-hmm. And he's got to convince her that he's a good guy and deserving of her help because she's just I hate all men kind of mode.
Yeah.
And that's literally all she gives him is that Buffy likes cheese and unironically the ice capades or something like that. Yeah.
And then they see Parker. Him and his buddies see Parker. And Riley stops him and is like, hey, you were dating Buffy for a minute, right? And he's like, we were together physically, and yeah, let me tell you, she can fuck all night long, she's got stamina.
What the fuck?
Yeah, he started and then Riley just punches him in the face. And all his buddies are like, what the fuck? And he's like, I didn't like the way he was talking about her.
Yeah, well, he deserved it. He's going to have some head trauma after the semester.
Shit, yeah. The guy's fucking going to have traumatic brain injuries.
First, she hit him with a pipe, I think, and...
A bat? I think it's a bat.
Yeah, and now this.
But anyway, so she gets invited to this party. It's at Riley's, whatever, fraternity. And so he starts trying to talk to her. All the men are dancing around her. It's weird. I mean, I know it's Sarah Michelle Gellar, but still. Yeah. And so he's trying to talk to her and everything, and he can't. He's all nervous and shit.
Which is ridiculous. He's the TA in her class. He should be able to talk to her.
She's too pretty.
Whatever.
And he has too much shyness.
He doesn't have enough blood in his brain.
It's the whole it's kind of the opposite of Angel. Angel's the bad guy kind of thing. Not bad, but I've done things. I'm brooding and mysterious, but I'm sensitive about you. And all the women are oh, and this is the opposite. This is I'm fumbling and charming, and I can't speak to you. It's the total opposite spectrum of it.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that's kind of how he's acting. And at one point he's just I like cheese. And she's like, what?
Yeah.
But she finds out that Spike's been spotted. I don't remember exactly how this happens.
Yeah, I feel like Xander and Giles.
That's what it is. I knew they came in here at some point. You're right. So they are feeling, Giles and Xander are at Giles's place, and they're bitching to each other about how we feel useless and this is awful and everything. And Giles is like, all right, let's fucking patrol. Let's do this. You've got military training. We need to figure out who these military guys are. That's going to be what we're going to do. And he's like, oh yeah, I was a soldier 2 years ago. And Giles is like, what the fuck? That? How's that going to help? And he's like, no, I still remember stuff. And so they go out to the campus and do like a patrol. And they see Spike. And then Xander comes to the party while Riley's finally trying to like talk to her. And he's like, hey, I've got stuff to tell you about like unfinished business. And she's like, oh, okay, like we need to talk. And so she's like, sorry, Riley, and leaves.
Poor Riley.
And that's what you said during the episode, too.
I feel very bad for him.
You really like this guy, don't you?
I feel bad for him.
Nah, you think he's cute.
I mean, he's not cuter than Angel or Spike.
Anyway, so she like they talk, and she's like, yeah, we saw Spike. And she's like, oh, he's fucking coming for me. Okay, what I'm gonna do is I am going to make myself bait for Spike. So that's what she does. She goes to a park bench and sits in the light. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, here comes the fucking twist. Riley is talking to his two buddies, and he's all like, oh, yeah, like, I don't know what to do or whatever. And they go to this closet in his room or whatever, and all of a sudden this, like, light comes out and scans their fucking retinas, and they step into the closet and, like, go down thousands of feet underground. And guess what's underground? The fucking military guys, because they're the military guys.
Yeah, and the professor's down there, too.
The professor's, like, the leader of it. Mm-hmm. How?
And it's the same place where Spike was.
Yeah, exactly. Where they had captured him. This is fucking ridiculous. Like, yeah. I don't hate it exactly, but it's like it's a big stretch and a big suspension of disbelief to imagine that they built all of this underneath a college campus where Buffy also happens to be. Mm-hmm. And, like, I mean, it's thousands of feet underground, and it's an enormous facility. And they have people posing as college students, taking classes, being TAs.
But I think they are college students.
Okay, so the college students are in charge of the military now, too? Or
I don't think they're in the military. I think that they have some kind of supernatural operation, but I don't think they're in the military.
It's weird. I don't hate it because it expands the lore of Buffy, but it's I don't know. It's a bit of a stretch to me.
Yeah, I agree. I don't love it either. But again, it's a supernatural show, so it's not going to. We have to suspend a lot of disbelief anyway.
So the professor obviously knew that it wasn't two dogs that were chasing her. I don't even know why she was talking about that to other people, just so that Buffy could hear it. And we could not know that she's part of this fucking thing. Like in real life, if she had seen that, she wouldn't have told anybody. Because she would have been like, she would have told Riley and been like, hey, there's two fucking werewolves out there. Let's capture them.
Well, she did tell Riley, and she was saying dogs instead of werewolves because they were in public.
Oh, okay. All right. Whatever. It seems all too convenient.
I mean, it seemed like they were talking in code and knew what they were saying to me.
Oh, yeah. Really? You picked up on that even before this episode, huh? Mm-hmm. Okay, sure you did. Anyway, she's like, Subject 17 has escaped. Fucking get him. So they all suit up and everything. Weirdly, in every other episode, their faces have been fully covered and stuff like that when they're out patrolling or whatever. And now they're not at all. So that's weird. Mm-hmm. But anyway, they're looking for him, and they see Buffy. And the one guy has the same plan as Buffy does. He's like, hey, we should use her as bait. I could fucking take him out. She won't be in danger. I can take him out from like 30 yards. He's like, we're not fucking using her as bait. No way. And now he's like all... See, this is the female fantasy. Now he's all in charge. And like, he's all fumbling with her and everything. It's like, I can't get my words out. I'm so nervous and stuff like that. But here he's like, I fucking know exactly what to do. I'm in charge. We're going to do that. Like, and he's like fully in command, dude. So it's like that dichotomy. Women love that shit.
And he goes over and tries to be fully in command, dude, and get her to leave.
And she's like, no, I'm, she's fully in command woman.
Right.
And she's like, no, I want to be alone. So could you go someplace else?
Right.
And he's like, well, you can be alone in your dorm room. And she's like, yeah, I want to be here. Like, and they're going back and forth and everything. And then there's a scream. And now we cut to Willow's room.
Yeah. So Willow, I think, had actually been at the party briefly and left.
Willow was at the party and trying to help him, Like he came over a couple times. He's like, I don't know what the fuck to do. I can't. She's like, look, it's not that big of a deal. You're not proposing marriage. Just talk to her.
Right. So she's back in the dorm room though, because she's just like, she had been like, tell Buffy I had to go, whatever.
Yeah.
And she's all sad and mopey, and in comes Spike because he's looking for Buffy.
Well, first of all, there's like a knock on the door, and she goes, "This is subtle, but I like this." She goes, "Come in." So she invites him in.
Yep.
And he's like, comes in and everything. He's like, "I'm gonna fucking kill you" or whatever. Like, where's Buffy? And she's like, "I don't know where she is right now." And he's like, "Well, I'm gonna kill you. It doesn't matter," or whatever. And he throws her down on the bed and starts to bite her.
No, he gives her a choice. He says, I like you, so I'm gonna give you a choice. Either I kill you or I bring you back like me."
Mm-hmm. And we don't know what she chose.
I don't think she did. I don't think she answered.
Well, we go to commercial, so we're not sure.
Yeah.
But we come back from a commercial because we're thinking, like, fuck, she's dead. Like, he's on her. Like, how is she going to get away or whatever?
He's going to rip out her throat.
And he's sitting on the edge of the bed, and he's like, this never happened to me before.
Yeah, they act like this is impotent. She's like, "Oh, I'm sure it'll be fine. Maybe try again in half an hour." Oh, and then he was talking about how he'd thought about biting her before.
Yeah.
Like this whole back and forth.
When she was wearing some
fuzzy
outfits.
pink number, he said. Yeah. So, yeah, they're making it very much like sexual.
Because she's like, I know I'm not the kind of girl that vampires want to bite or whatever.
That's so stupid.
Yeah, it's really dumb.
I don't know what is going on with the writing in the show, but yeah.
So Buffy gets there, but the military guys get there first, and they because she's like, Willow's all like being nice to him and stuff like that, and she's like, look, why don't we try again or whatever, and she's like, or actually, let me get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
So
bizarre.
All the lights go off. Willow runs out of the room. One of the military guys is about to shoot her. And Riley's like, no, because he knows who she is. And they find Spike and everything, and they start like shooting at him and trying to get him and stuff like that. Then Buffy comes in and starts fighting the military guys. And in that confusion, Spike is able to escape.
Yeah, which is why it's unfortunate. I won't say dumb, just unfortunate that, they're not working together.
So far, yeah. It's unfortunate. I mean, I assume eventually they will.
Yeah, it would make sense.
But anyway, so like they have a big fight. It's hard to see anything because it's all dark. She ends up firing a flare gun that Xander gave her at one point, and it blinds them because they have night vision goggles on.
Ooh.
So they can't see her. That's the whole point of it. Mm-hmm. Because they're not allowed to know she's the vampire slayer yet, if they even know what that is.
Right.
So anyway, Spike gets away, she gets away, and they go back to the professor to debrief. And she's like, this is a fucking failure or whatever. He got away and you got your ass kicked by some unknown helper that he has. Like, so they think that there's somebody helping him because that is kind of what it seems like. And he's like, well, it wasn't a total failure because the implant or whatever that you gave him worked. He can't bite anyone. Mm-hmm. So they have somehow figured out a way to put something in vampires that keeps them from attacking people.
Makes it hurt or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, because every time he tried to, it was like he was getting a shock or something.
Or a headache or, grabbing his head like, ah.
So, interesting stuff. And then that's basically where the episode ends. We'll have to see what happens with all of this.
Yeah.
It's a lot of information all dumped on us at one time.
It really was. And a lot of chaos.
Pretty good episode, though. I mean, I enjoyed it, so. Yeah,
it was funny and maybe just a little bit too off the wall, but it was funny. It was good. Definitely
off the wall, but I don't know. I feel like it has more of a narrative thrust now, the story. Now I'm actually interested to know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So. But anyway, that is our episode for the week. Carol, tell the people where they can find their own cheese.
You can write us at latefee1994@aol.com. Check out our website at www.retrolatefee.com.
Yep.
And share the tapes with your friends.
Always. See you next time. Bye.
Bye.